Hey everybody, it's Jami from the PG, where we watch paranormal videos to determine whether or not they are real or fake, and if they are real, we try to determine whether or not they are demonic. If they are, we try our best to help you see the signs and hopefully give you, some advice on how to deal with it or get rid of it. So, we are back to King Frostmare and his videos of the scariest police videos caught by officers. 3! And I will admit, some of the videos that we have seen so far have been good. Some, you can easily tell have been fake. But I have been impressed so far with the videos that he has provided. And let us continue with the saga. Bigfoot?
Late one night, a police officer's camera captured something unsettling at a local preschool. The incident began when concerned neighbors reported seeing figures moving inside the building well past closing hours. Officers arrived to investigate and conducted a thorough search of the premises. Finding no one inside, they prepared to leave. That's when one officer's camera picked up an unusual sight through the window.
It looks like 2, maybe 3. Do we know if there were any accidents that happened at the school? Anything else?
A dark, shadowy form moving within one of the classrooms. To this day, the footage remains unexplained. What exactly did the camera capture in that empty preschool classroom?
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a face now. Don't know what to make of it.
This chilling footage comes from a security officer's late-night shift at an aging hospital, a place long surrounded by whispers of paranormal activity. Former patients, according to local stories, still roam its dimly lit corridors. On this particular night, the guard was simply recording a video message for his family back home. What he didn't notice at the time, but what became horrifyingly clear when reviewing the footage, was a ghostly presence just outside his second-floor window.
Oh. That, Granny! It's time for you to go back to bed and, oof. Oof. And second floor, huh? I mean, for all we know, it could just be a picture, maybe, or somebody put a mask there.
The face of an elderly woman could be seen staring directly at him. Given that his office was located on the second floor, there was no logical explanation for anyone being there. No ledge, no platform, nothing. Some speculate this mysterious visitor might have been a former patient, making one final visit to the hospital where she spent her last days. The security officer remains convinced that on that night he captured evidence of something beyond our earthly understanding.
Otherwise, he would have been freaking out.
A security officer recently shared this unsettling footage of her colleague's night shift experience. During his regular patrol, he encountered what appeared to be a disoriented patient wandering near his office. The individual seemed confused, unable to locate their room, so he compassionately invited them to sit down. But here's where this incident takes a chilling turn.
Okay, watch this, y'all. He called his boss asking him, why didn't y'all tell me that? He constantly looking back, right? He talking to somebody, right? Just watch, this is creepy. Look, having a whole conversation with somebody. right? Saying that somebody came and he dapping that person off and everything. Now see, look, y'all see when he dapped him off, look what happened. He dapped him off. You see that shadow? And then the shadow goes over here and he pulling the chair out for him. He swore to God he sat there and had a whole conversation with this person. He moved over talking to him and everything. Y'all better protect yourselves. Whatever that was took advantage of him.
While the security camera footage
doesn't look like it was anything like, you know, malicious, you know, intent. But like I know from other police videos that we've seen, you know, people think that they're, you know, talking to somebody but isn't there, and clearly, you know, they didn't know this till later. But it would have been interesting to you know, pick his brain about what he thought after the experience of talking to somebody. And when she was talking about the shadows, at first I thought it was possibly his shadows moving. So I don't know if it's that, but it kind of coincides with how he's then pulling the chair aside and, you know, for the person to sit.
Shows no visible person in the room. There's an unmistakable shadow cast across the floor. The footage captures her colleague, clearly conversing with someone, gesturing and responding as if in deep conversation. The officer who experienced this event remains adamant that he was talking to what felt like a real person, yet the cameras tell a different story. Could this be evidence of an encounter with someone who had already passed? How else can we explain a conversation with someone who doesn't appear on camera, yet cast a shadow? A security officer caught something strange on camera in one of the hospital rooms. What makes this video extra creepy is that a patient had died in that same room just the night before. At first, you might think you're looking at spider webs moving in front of the camera, but here's the thing. The hospital staff checked and confirmed there weren't any cobwebs around. Maybe it was just light bouncing off something in the room. Or was it something that can't be so easily explained? Whatever it was, it happened right after someone's last moments in that room. And that's what makes this footage so mysterious. This security footage comes from the third floor of a building under renovation in Colombia. What starts as a routine patrol takes an eerie turn when the officer suddenly stops.
They're going through renovation, right? And it's pretty much proven, like, if you are renovating any old building, that you can possibly awaken spirits or, you know, somehow awaken demons. Hopefully nothing negative happens here.
Leaves and begins talking as if he's having a conversation with someone.
Like the late night nurse, or...
Yeah. Colombia.
Obviously, we're not seeing any shadows. Don't see anything else in the background possibly doing anything.
The strange thing is, the camera shows he's completely alone. There's no one else in the frame, yet he's clearly interacting with something. The mystery deepens when another guard asks him over the radio who he's been talking to. That's when reality seems to hit him.
Carnalito, ¿con quién estás hablando? No hay nadie, marica. Ahí no hay nadie.
Learning he's been chatting with thin air, the officer's face changes from friendly to terrified. The video ends with him running away from the scene, clearly shocked. Word is, he was so shaken by what happened that no one knows if he ever came back to work in that building again.
Oh wow, he like left the premises. Okay.
The following video was recorded by CCTV and captured by security in an old nightclub, as the officer was checking the surveillance after closing hours. And when nobody was supposed to be in the building anymore, they noticed that something was quite amiss. Apparently a child might have made their way into the closed club.
Oh. Well, what was it before it was a club? You know?
Oh my god.
Why are you so
I'm
scared?
so scared. That's crazy. Oh my god.
See the little...
What's it? It actually looks like it's walking, doesn't it?
A baby or a toddler?
Now, for the staff, it's without a doubt that this was the statue of a small child, and that this probably must have been a visiting spirit. Of course, we also have to be open to other explanations, like the reflection of some cobwebs, for example. But yet, this is certainly a mysterious capture, whatever the exact reason for this. This footage follows an officer during what turned into a very unsettling night at an old soccer stadium scheduled for demolition. He was doing his regular rounds in the catacombs beneath the stands when screams echoing from the dressing room area caught his attention. Concerned someone might be hurt, he pulled out his camera and started recording as he headed toward the sounds. What happened next would make anyone's skin crawl.
Bueno, ya son como las 11 de la noche y la tercera vez que estoy escuchando este ruido de mierda. No sé qué está pasando, pero lo quiero grabar ahora para que después me crea la gente, porque esto nunca me pasó y nada, lo quería grabar, qué sé yo.
Yeah.
Y podrido, la concha de la lora. Pero linterna, no sé para quién quiera la traje. Dios. Puta que te parió.
Dude.
La puta que te parió. Concha de la lora. La concha de la lora.
So they're still close there, but it's scheduled for it to be demolished.
Pero como mierda puede ser que no haya nada. Ay.
Oh, hello.
Ya es la tercera vez. Ya es la tercera vez. Ya es la tercera vez.
Is that like a woman?
Tercera vez que entro.
I mean, obviously it's
No
not
hay
his
nada.
shadow.
Dios. Me quiero ir.
Then go.
Me quiero ir.
The dressing room door began moving on its own, swinging open, as if someone was playing with it.
Nope.
But that's not even the creepiest part. When he later watched his recording, he spotted something he'd completely missed in the moment. The guard, who'd faced plenty of strange situations before, was so rattled after seeing the footage that he could barely talk about it. Looking back, maybe those screams were trying to warn him about what was lurking in those old corridors.
It was the football fan that never left.
During a local Day of the Dead celebration, an off-duty police officer was simply taking videos of the festivities with his family. At first, everything seemed normal, just people enjoying the colorful event together. But when his family watched the footage later, they spotted something that made them freeze.
Oh, hello. Grandma stopped by to say hi.
There, moving across the frame, was something impossible, a figure that seemed to be walking through the air. It drifted from right to left, floating several feet off the ground, but moving as if taking regular steps.
To that building? Because, I mean, it could be a regular person, but considering the lighting, you might be able to tell if it's actually a person or not.
The officer, trained to look for logical explanations, couldn't make sense of what his camera had captured that night. Some say it's fitting that during a celebration meant to honor those who've passed, something from the other side might have decided to join the festivities.
Otherwise, I think that it would be cool to experience, you know, that type of celebration of Dias de Muertos. I mean, obviously, as an American, we do Halloween. But it's always fun trying different traditions from other cultures. I feel like
A family shared this brief footage taken from their security camera one evening. What makes this recording special is that they'd recently lost one of their own, a beloved family member who had served as a police officer. As the family spent a peaceful evening on their patio, the camera caught something unusual.
oh. I mean, that could have been added in, right? That totally could have been added in. Also, what the... This has to be fake. Right? This has to be. Also, why wouldn't you be freaking out about the chair being somewhere else?
A figure, similar in build and movement to their lost loved one, briefly appeared in frame. It looked just like the familiar side of him, coming home after his shift, something they'd seen countless times before. Could this have been a final visit home? Some suggest it might be just a technical glitch. Maybe the camera somehow picking up old footage of him returning from work. But for this family, still healing from their loss, the moment felt like more than just a camera malfunction. It felt like he was checking in on them one last time. The next video was a submission and was supposedly filmed by the dash cam of a police cruiser. The officer on patrol was Ben Malik. Didn't expect to see anything extraordinary that night. However, this should change rather quickly. After driving for a while, the officer notices a strange person in the left side of the road, and it seemed that they had started a fire. Of course, this was more than reason enough to pull over for him.
Wait. Okay. Give me a second to back up here.
And I think the next video was a submission and was supposedly filmed by the dash cam of a police cruiser. The officer on patrol was Ben Malik. Didn't expect to see anything extraordinary that night. However, this should change rather quickly. After driving for a while, the officer notices a strange person in the left side of the road, and it seemed that they had started a fire. Of course, this was more than reason enough to pull over for him.
Been there? Like, they could have been there already, since it seems that we're missing part of the clip. Also, it looks like a woman. She could be burning old love letters or something. Ma'am.
Based on his reports, the woman seemed to have a burning face, which the man could not explain in the slightest.
She throws her head back, possibly has a light in her mouth. She could be on something, man. She honestly could be on something. Possibly, could have done a dare, but yeah, I don't know what to make of it, except this is just, it's weird, and I'm sorry he has to deal with this woman.
And this is another case for which most people simply don't have an answer for. The man believes that the woman was performing a ritual of some sorts, and it is stated that he arrested the mysterious woman shortly after. Who knows what exactly this dashcam had recorded here? What do you think was going
on? She had a piece of
on?
jewelry that was reflecting the fire.
This video was supposedly captured by the dashcam of a police officer who was out on patrol this night.
By the footage that it's not that great, but also look at the year, 2001. I mean, 24 years ago. We've definitely come a long way since then, and hopefully it's a good clip.
It was a regular shift for him up until that point, but that changed rather quickly. The officer notices something strange on the road and then drives straight through it. He felt that something was not right and turned around right after to see if anything was there.
One. Drive through what? Okay. I wouldn't blame him for freaking out, because suddenly there's something in the middle of the road. But then again, I mean, never mind. Totally not what I thought. I thought it could have been fog, because fog can suddenly show up. But
we can clearly see a mist-like apparition that seemingly seems to float right through the police cruiser. It almost looks like a humanoid form. Strange, isn't it?
But of course it isn't until later when he turns around and you see the thing walking.
Reason enough for the policeman to turn around.
See? But then it kind of looks like there's like a slight wall, right?
And then this thing appears again from the right side of the screen.
That's the only thing.
Many people are sure that something paranormal was going on in this recording. Was it maybe a spirit on a nightly walk?
Because wait, look. See, it's like there's like a sheet or something.
Or what else could have caused these mist-like figures, in your opinion? Pretty mysterious. A police officer captured this disturbing footage after coming home from a long night shift.
No.
The story begins even before he got home. He had this strange feeling of being watched, like someone was following him all the way from the police station. Once inside his house, he started hearing voices, even though he was completely alone. Unsettled by these sounds, he pulled out his phone and started recording. What the camera caught next is enough to make your hair stand on end.
Apparently, no wife or husband, kids, parents, but also the fact that he feels like it followed him or something like that. Always say, I don't give you permission to follow me. If you are in a haunted location, it's just never good if something follows you. Also, is this in the US or somewhere else? freaking roommate. It has to be a roommate. Otherwise, nice jump scare. Like, seriously, like, it has to be a family member. Jeez.
In the footage, you can see a figure standing in one of his doorways, just watching him.
Dude.
The officer didn't notice it at the time, but when he reviews the video, there it is. As he walks toward that doorway, the figure quickly vanishes into one of the rooms. Now, the officer's first thought was a break-in. No signs of forced entry. No evidence anyone had been there at all. So, what exactly was standing in his doorway that night?
Checking in on him. You know that people give their keys to family members.
Security at an old Mexican restaurant shared this eerie piece of footage after years of reporting strange happenings in the building. The restaurant, with its long history, had always been a place where unusual things seemed to happen after the last customer left. But this particular night, the security cameras caught something that stood out from all the other odd incidents.
Ya salió de nuevo. Ahí va.
You can see like each leg move. So, like,
¿Estoy bien que vaya por el medio? ¿Sí? ¿Pero eso nunca lo habías visto, José?
The footage shows what looks like a see-through figure slowly walking into the dining area. You can almost make out a human shape, but it's misty, like looking through fog. The figure moves through the room before simply fading away. The restaurant was locked up tight, with no customers or staff inside. The security team checked the building right after this happened, but found no signs of anyone breaking in. The restaurant staff believe they finally caught proof that sometimes past visitors return for one last meal.
hey, if it's that good.
This is the CCTV recording that was obtained by the same security guard that we see on screen here, and then uploaded to his channel J Breezy. He states that he saw a ghostly person walking up to him, and apparently even the camera has captured this event.
Yep. There it is. He clearly sees it.
Look at I saw that. I saw that. See, I saw that. And I'm like, and then
At
it
least
disappeared
he's
over there about the
acting
desk.
Very calm, not freaking out. You know, he's trying to figure it out. That's good.
And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera.
Yep.
Y'all see that? Y'all saw that, right?
on.
I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that?
Jay thinks that this must have been a ghost walking the lobby area, because what on earth could this have been otherwise?
And I mean, it looks like it's walking too. It's not like just some mist thing.
This recording stems from a night security guard who was protecting a huge warehouse. It was his 12th night at the job, and he states that ever since he started to work there, more and more creepy events started to unfold. This is one of his documented
I wonder
ones.
if possibly this is the same one that we've seen from previous videos. I mean, it kind of looks like it, just without the mannequins. But let's continue watching to see. Also, is he just watching that one room? Also, did he get scratched? Yeah. Oh boy. Nope, I'd be out. First of all, if he's getting scratched, that's demonic. two lights are going out? Nope. Dude. How are you still there? Okay, at least it's not the 13th night, because I know that's not a good number. Hopefully somebody's not messing with him, but jeez. I don't blame him for running out, dude. Dude.
It seemed that something got thrown at him, which initially made him quite weary. Then, moments later, the power went off in the whole building, and he seemed to have heard and seen something terrifying. And after the recording ended, he went home straight away. Was
It's
something
possible.
demonic lingering in this
Also,
old
the fact
warehouse?
that it keeps, glitching and cutting in and out. I mean, like, it seems like it's similar to, or the same place as the previous videos, which also had demonic stuff going on with it. So, hopefully he found a better job. Otherwise, if he didn't, hopefully there's more videos in the other videos that King Frostmare has done.
A young police officer started experiencing terrifying events in her home after investigating a supposedly haunted location. Things got so scary that she began recording everything to prove to her
Does
mother
her mom
that she
live with
wasn't
her?
imagining
Is her mom
things.
experiencing
Solamente grabo este
this?
video porque están tocando constantemente la puerta. Están pasando cosas que no son normales. ¿Qué?
Whatever you do not open up that door.
¿Quién?
No. No. Congratulations. You now have a ghost with you. And why? Because you opened up the door when you shouldn't have opened it up.
The footage starts with one of the biggest mistakes in dealing with supernatural activity. She opened her door when something was asking to come in. From that moment on, things only got worse. First, as she walked back to her bedroom, something yanked at her bed covers, pulling them right before her
violently
eyes.
too.
But what's even more disturbing was what her camera had captured earlier that evening. When she'd opened her door, something dark appeared.
Oh.
¿Qué?
Nope. Nope. Yeah, fingers.
The next night brought
woman.
even more frightening activity. She believed the poltergeist had made its way into her home,
I bet.
turning it into a nightmare.
Amigos, apagué el live porque, como ustedes vieron, que la escoba estaba ya en la puerta. Se vino acá, el espejo por alguna razón se volteó, no entiendo. No suelo tener miedo, pero jamás me he topado así con cosas así. Jamás se me volteó el espejo. Prefiero dormir con mis hermanos. Te mando este video, ya que en el departamento están pasando cosas que no son
Is
normales.
her sister there with her?
Cosas o hechos paranormales. Subí un video hace días, de los cuales en los comentarios me decían que había una mano encima de la puerta.
Guess what? It invited friends.
Esta vez no voy a abrir la puerta.
Strangely, she stopped posting updates after this incident. The silence has left many wondering, is she still dealing with these nightly visits? And if
Hopefully
so,
so.
has she found help to end this haunting?
Hopefully so.
Now to a video from a man who was working as night security he sometimes brought along his son in the early evenings. Apparently, there was a pretty eerie storage unit in which many people swore to have seen really odd and strange things. And he even goes as far as telling us about a supposedly haunted doll that he found in one of them.
Wait, is this where that whole entire thing originated from? Because Victoria and I have done other videos that involve that weird monkey thing. But it's just... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That... Because obviously it's possessed by something, but the fact that he's involving his son in this... No, no, you don't do that, man. You don't do that.
I will say the place is rather frightening. Especially the basement level of this facility. And here's the doll you've all been asking for close-ups of. And I immediately knew this was worth something. I've had a lot of skeptics argue with me, but I do believe it's cursed. And you'll see why in just a moment. And oh yeah, so the workers at the storage place and showed me a video of my unit saying they heard loud noises inside. They thought it was me, which I surely denied. They wanted proof, so I gave it to them. I've been told it's a poltergeist, which I had no idea what that meant until I saw a couple of videos online.
There it is.
But just watch the video for yourself.
Slowly getting up. Now just wait. Looks over towards the camera. It's like, oh crap, it caught me. Yep. Dude, you need to get rid of that thing. Get rid of that thing.
Creepy stuff.
As we all can see, this haunted doll seems to be moving in the old storage unit, where nobody else was around late at night. Could it be that something is possessing this doll? A strange children's toy for sure, wouldn't you say? Maybe he should be considering getting rid of that thing.
He should get rid of it. I know that there's a few people who would be more than happy, to take it off of him, pay a pretty penny for it. But no, dude, just it's not worth keeping, in my opinion. And it looks over too. It's like, oh crap, caught me. Jeez.
This infamous video is known to many as the ghost car. A mysterious driver who was trying to escape police that night vanished into thin air.
This mysterious driver tricks cops into thinking he's about to pull over, then all hell breaks loose. The officers watching this tape get only a quick glimpse of the man behind the wheel. It's the last look they'll get. For a moment, it appears as if the driver and his car have disappeared into thin air. But in the blink of an eye, the driver comes into view again. This time, he tries to outrun the police rather than just vanish. His moves are still baffling to the police as he swerves all over the road, driving like a man possessed. And just when he's really thrown the cops for a loop, he gets back on a straightaway, showing off a seemingly supernatural speed.
Wait, do you know what year this is?
In just a moment, he's going to make a turn into the Twilight Zone. Watch. The fence at the end means no way out. Or does it?
To this day, it's still unexplained how this car could make it through this wire fence and escape the police cruisers. Some people claim that the car drove through an opening in the fence that wasn't captured on camera, and that this whole thing is not more than just a hoax. However, this theory has never been proven, and while this could definitely be the case, it remains a ghostly mystery and one of the most infamous dashcam videos known to man.
Yeah, that's always going to be a mystery.
A security guard was working his night shift at an old cave system, a spot known for frequent break-ins. His job was simple: keep trespassers out.
Que el tío, el Mickey, no existe. Pero mi gente, sí existe. Yo he estado durante muchos años en la mina y siempre he querido encontrarme, pero nunca tuve esa oportunidad. Pero tengo esa fe de que sí me voy a encontrar.
I'm definitely hearing.
Escucha. Cayó piedra.
It'd be interesting to know what type of mine it is.
Qué miedo. ¿Escucharon? Qué miedo.
It started with sounds echoing from the dark tunnels, sounds that made his skin crawl. What really shook him was that they sounded just like a child's voice, calling out from deep within the cave. That's when he started recording, trying to document whatever was making these impossible noises. His security team later reviewed the footage, and no one could explain what they heard. While some thought it might be a prank, others had a darker theory. There are old stories about cave creatures that mimic children's voices to lure people deeper into the darkness. Was this what the guard had encountered? Either way, one thing's certain: whatever made those sounds shouldn't have been there. No child could have gotten past the security barriers, and the cave system had been empty for hours. Maybe some places are better left unguarded after dark.
Like some woman, or some guy trying to sound like a woman.
Now we delve into a spine-chilling incident that took place on November 22nd. Two brave policemen were called to investigate a house after the owner suspected a break-in. This house was used as an Airbnb and occasionally rented out by the owner, but there were no guests that night.
Yeah, I've seen this one before, and I'm perfectly speechless about what happens, but what these officers went through, I mean, they persevered through it. They did their job thoroughly, and like just what's about to happen, what you're about to see, I would have easily just ran away, but they kept at it.
So let's uncover the unsettling events that unfolded during this search, all captured on the body cams worn by the officers.
I left for a while to go shopping, and when I came home, the door was open. I think somebody broke it.
Does anyone live in the house?
Yes, my husband, myself, and our two kids, but they're out of town right now. They're with his parents.
And how many rooms do you have?
2 upstairs and 1 downstairs.
All right, we're gonna have to go and search the house. Is it okay if we go in?
Yeah, of course.
You don't have any like pets or dogs or anything?
No.
Just stay here, man.
Police, if anyone's here, make yourself known.
Police.
they get like a jump scare from somebody, you know, speaking over the radio while they're trying to, you know, like, you know, to try to find intruders or whatever, trying to be stealthy, and then that happens.
Anyone inside?
Oh, wow. He clearly heard something too if his gun is drawn. Because if I remember correctly, he went in the building without having his gun drawn. Oh, yep. Ready?
Police!
Oh,
Anyone inside, make yourself known.
Gun drawn. Now, it is known that spirits are able to affect your electronics, hence the glitches happening. These men are being very thorough. Well, at least it seems like the spirit there is at least being nice and, you know, opening the doors. You know, it's like, oh, please, by all means, check this room. No? How about this room?
Downstairs clear.
Yep.
Downstairs clear.
Yeah, we're good.
As the officers ventured inside, something strange caught their attention. All the closets appeared empty. The video's description clarified that the homeowner leaves them bare to prevent any potential guests from stealing personal items. But is there something more to this story? One thing viewers noticed is that the officers chose not to turn on the lights. And believe it or not, this is a common practice. Seconds can make all the difference between life and death for the officers. But as they searched, something really weird happened. The doors seemed to open by themselves when one of the officers went upstairs. And then the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoed closely behind him. What could possibly explain these eerie occurrences? Could it be the presence of something paranormal, a ghost, or something else entirely?
Well, King Frostmare, once again, thank you for a very good video. I know that I was pleased with it. Hopefully you were as well. I look forward to the other videos in this saga that you're doing. And yeah, otherwise I hope that you guys will like this video, and also please subscribe, hit that bell notification so that way you guys know when our next video is out. And as always, just remember that no matter what, no matter where, no matter how, you are loved.